We got a big baddie boss here today, stage 23, question mark, question mark, question mark. And are you ready to figure out how to beat the question mark? Thank you for tuning in. As always, if you got a question or comment along the way, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see you in our amazing community and Discord server. On top of that, thank you for your support. As always, thank you to our members. Appreciate the likes and the subs. Now, a couple things here, as always, before we get into it, make sure that you take advantage of your supply chest. Make sure that you're taking advantage here of your suppression levels. You want to keep maximizing this because it will help you speed up. As you can see, we got some more additional awesomeness right there for a lot of the stuff that we've been doing and completing here in the Boss Rush event. Now, let's get into stage 23. A couple things here. First and foremost, as always, we do have these special conditions. In this event, the min biscuit level is 20, the cookie level is 90, the skill level is 90. All that research, though, doesn't matter. As with #1 free-to-play player here, it's too bad. However, regardless, what happens, though, is it is a great free-to-play event where the key is really about your gear, the toppings, the biscuits, and the tarts to help you be successful. We got gear guides here for you on the channel for more additional breakdown that you can check out. We will cover some of those pieces regardless, though, in today's Boss Rush episode here, stage 23. Now, a couple things here. First and foremost, always make sure the first rule of Boss Rush is read the boss information here. The target of the boss's attack cannot heal, but the boss receives increased darkness type damage. So make sure that you have that. And then additionally here, the second one, rage effect, the boss will destroy the team after a certain time, but receives increased earth type damage. Now, we've seen both of these. These bosses are getting much tougher, much harder. They live a lot longer in terms of trying to take these things down. However, we got the teams here for you today to help complete Boss Rush. So the first one there on the darkness side. So a couple things to consider. We've seen this team here a few times now. Really, it's the three big bosses in terms of our summoned units. We got the Darkness, Vision of Lightning, and Torrent of the Flame. Here, the key one is making sure that you have this. Now, a couple things they're going to see on this team a little bit differently, a little bit more support on the burning side or fire side. This one has worked very, very well, giving you some other alternative ideas. However, the one that we will be using today is this one right here. So what we've done is we've shifted in Dark Cacao to take advantage of the channel darkness and all these other pieces here and be a little bit more darkness oriented and focused. We've also added in Black Raisin here as well, making a huge additional piece in that consuming darkness. And then also here with Star Coral as an example. Instead of Wind Archer, maybe you want to run Creme Brulee or something like that. Really depends on where you're at with your team. And then don't forget that if you can get to that 50, you can move up another 5%. So making sure that you're paying attention to your ascension, your stars, because that can make a big difference for your particular team. All right, so the big three are really Darkness Overlord, Torrent of Flame, and Vision of Lightning. We gave you kind of some swaps and ideas between the two that you can certainly leverage and use. Let's go ahead and take a look at the gear. Here we're on attack, as much attack as possible. Similar here, lots of attack. Here we're actually on cooldown. We want to make sure that those stacks keep going. We also got Linzer here for that additional suspect. Here we got crit, more attack and crit. That would be more ideal. Attack, lots of attack speed there, and then cooldown here as well. All right, so that is our first team here to help break down the first piece. The target of the boss's attack cannot heal, but the boss receives increased darkness type damage. All right, let's go for it here. Again, questions, comments along the way, let me know. Great time to like and subscribe, so thank you for that. It keeps you in the know. All right, here we go, my friends. Look at this. Trying to take advantage. Now, when I ran the difference between the other two or the other team, usually it ends up being pretty close in terms of percentage, particularly for me, generally around 2 to 5%. So that's something that you can keep in mind as you're going through this. We're at 68%. We're going to have to try again. If you don't first succeed, try again. One of the nice things about Boss Rush is from that perspective, my friends. Now, the big question is going to be, are we able to get through and run all the way down and move to the next team, or we're going to have to leave a little bit extra open? Now, if you do get across just like this right there, you can actually hit pause and take advantage of that additional 4 seconds, which is exactly what we're going to do, because regardless, we're probably going to get wiped on that next one. So very, very key there. Or you can run through it if you want to. You do lose a little bit of time as you're moving through. However, I'm trying to take advantage of that piece. All right, so the next one here is we got that first piece. Let's go ahead and upgrade that as well. We're going to go back in here. Now this time we have the rage effect. The boss will destroy the team after a certain time, but receives increased earth type damage. So now we got to go move over to our earth team. All right, so again, we got kind of similar like before. We have a team like this, again, oriented around earth and oath, survivability. This one runs a giant pom-pom from that perspective, so you can try something a little bit different and swaps from that view. However, we're going to run this one here, which is a little bit different. We have a little bit different setup, no giant pom-pom from that perspective, a little bit more earth oriented because we're taking advantage of the 3 pieces here when it comes to these ones here: burnt cheese, the smoked cheese, and golden cheese as an example, protector of the city, and a bunch of other things from that perspective. All right, and then again, how we got it laid out, let's go ahead and take a look at our gear. Lots of attack, more attack. Here we're on cooldown, lots of cooldown. Speed on PV, it's cooldown. Here we got lots of attack, and then last but not least, cooldown on that one as well, my friends. Okay, so the idea is really get that earth piece in. Again, about a 2 to 4% difference between those 2 teams, giving you some other alternative ideas to help you take this thing down. Probably going to be about 2 tickets once again here. Let's see if that's the case. We're going to get a lot of damage in here, making sure that once that wipe happens, just like that, when you saw your team's able to recover, that is the key piece in terms of those synergy effects and what you're going to need to be successful here and take this thing down. If we can get below that 4 million, which we did, we should be able to get through this in one more ticket. 4.3 million. There we go, my friends. And that's why that extra 4 seconds can make a little bit of a difference. You lose 3 running in, as you saw there. So maybe it would have been better to sit there and get a little bit of additional damage. However, I think we're going to be fine in terms of shutting this thing down here on this second ticket. And here we go. Look at that. Very nice. We saved our 5 seconds, right? All right, there we have it. 2 minutes and almost 50 seconds there to take down question mark, question mark, question mark. I love it. And that, my friends, is today's episode and guide to help you get through stage 23 there, unlock stage 24. Looking forward to that one as well, so stay tuned. And with that, everything that you need to know. If you still got a question, if you have a comment, please certainly let me know. I love to hear from you, and we'd love to see you in our amazing community and Discord server. With that, I also just want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs as we continue to grow such an amazing community here. And thank you to our members. I truly appreciate that support. It's a great way to support along with our affiliate links and our swag and merch. Who doesn't want a hat, right? Don't forget my socials, at me, chat me, stay connected, my friends. With that, I hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll see you again soon. We got some more Boss Rush left to close this thing down in a fast clip pace for you. Additionally, all kinds of cookie run here on the channel. With that, until next time, my friends, keep on running.